The night he walked into the restaurant, still wearing the weight of exhaustion on his shoulders, he had no idea that a single sentence would shatter the quiet walls he had built around his heart for years. A single father, surviving on routine and responsibility, he believed this blind date was just another awkward favor arranged by well-meaning friends, a harmless distraction from a life that no longer had room for surprises. The soft golden lights of the restaurant reflected off polished tables, the gentle hum of cutlery and distant laughter filling the air. But inside him there was only resistance and fatigue, the kind that comes from loving deeply and losing even deeper. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that heal broken hearts, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Ripple of Kindness. Your support keeps these stories alive and reaching those who need them most. He arrived early, as he always did everywhere, because punctuality had become his shield against chaos. After his wife's passing years ago, life had reduced itself to school drop-offs, packed lunches, late-night bills, and whispered prayers beside his sleeping child. Love had become a memory he locked away, not because he didn't crave it, but because the cost of hoping again felt too high. When the waiter guided him to a quiet corner table, he noticed the reserved seat across from him was positioned carefully, with extra space, as if anticipating something unusual. He brushed the thought aside, convincing himself it was nothing. Then she arrived. The restaurant seemed to slow, not because of her presence alone, but because of the way people instinctively paused to make room for her wheelchair. She moved with dignity, her posture straight, her hair neatly styled, her eyes calm yet carrying something heavy beneath their surface. In that instant, confusion washed over him, followed by a sharp sting of anger he quickly buried. He realized he had been tricked, not into a date, but into confronting something he was not emotionally prepared for. Still, he stayed because leaving felt cruel, and cruelty was something life had already given him too much of. They sat together under the warm lights, surrounded by couples and quiet music. He tried to focus on small details, the clink of glasses, the menu in his hands, anything to keep from drowning in his own thoughts. He had no experience navigating situations like this, no script for how to behave, what to feel, or how to reconcile the frustration of being deceived with the guilt of judging someone who had clearly endured more pain than he could imagine. The restaurant became a world of contrasts, beauty and brokenness sharing the same space. As the evening unfolded, the tension between them softened, not through words exchanged, but through presence. There was something disarming about her calmness, the way she observed the room with appreciation instead of bitterness. And then, at a moment when dessert plates were being cleared and the lights dimmed slightly, she shared her truth. She explained without self-pity that she had once been full of motion and ambition, until an accident stole the future she had planned. She revealed that this blind date was not her idea either, but a test of courage suggested by those who loved her, a chance to feel seen as a woman, not a condition. What broke him was not her paralysis, but what followed. She spoke about loneliness, about watching life move forward while she remained physically still, about the fear that no one would ever look at her and see possibility again. She admitted that she understood if he felt uncomfortable, because pain teaches people to expect abandonment. In that moment, the restaurant faded away, and all he could feel was the crushing weight of her honesty colliding with his own unhealed wounds. He thought of his child waiting at home, of the nights he sat alone believing he was damaged goods, unworthy of love after loss. He realized that he and this woman were standing on opposite sides of the same emotional cliff, both terrified of falling again. The trick was not the blind date. The trick was life forcing him to confront how closed his heart had become, how quickly he judged pain that didn't look like his own. As the evening ended, there was no dramatic promise or sudden romance, only a quiet shift within him. He left the restaurant changed, not because love had magically appeared, but because compassion had reopened something he thought was permanently sealed. He walked into the night air feeling lighter and heavier at the same time, carrying the realization that strength is not about walking unbroken through life, but about showing up despite the cracks. Days passed, and the memory of that restaurant stayed with him. He found himself more patient with his child, more present, more willing to smile at strangers. He understood that healing does not arrive all at once. It seeps in through moments of shared humanity. That night taught him that kindness is not a grand gesture, but the courage to stay when leaving would be easier. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness. Your engagement helps spread messages that remind us we are not alone. Before this story ends, we have one special request. Comment below and share what this moment in the restaurant meant to you, or how this story made you feel. Your words might be the comfort someone else is searching for. The blind date did not give him love that night, but it gave him something just as powerful. The reminder that broken people are not burdens, and that sometimes the most life-changing encounters happen when we are tricked into opening our hearts again.